Welcome everyone, my name's Greg. Today I'll be doing my first commentary of a battle. This battle has already taken place. I am commentating retrospectively to give an insight into some of the decision making I made during the battle. It was an awesome round, starts off a bit slowly and then heats up. So let's load into the map. We have Thermopylae today. I've teamed up with Stu and Isness. What I'm going to do is go towards the hot gates, so towards the B side of the map, and see what I can get done on that side. It looks like I've got another spear player down there who is Leonidas, tier 7 spearman. So hopefully we're not going to be conflicting in what we try and achieve on that side, but we do have quite a lot of infantry around us. Unfortunately it looks like we don't have any cavalry, which is going to
fight
prove
for
a bit
control of the battlefield.
Tricky, especially running down some of those ranged players. It looks like the enemy does have a repeating crossbow, so that is going to be tricky for me to deal with, especially if they get in behind me. So let's see how we go. It looks like the Leonidas has gone the B option, so I'm not going to crowd his space. What I'm going to do is just scout out the middle and see who is going to be pressing that area, and see if I can get control of that area before C gets unlocked. I pop Fight in the Shade just in case I get sprung quite early and I'm not paying attention whilst I look at the composition of the enemy team. Really important to check out what the enemy is bringing to the battle, just so we know what engagements are taken, what engagements to avoid.
The enemy
So
have
really
engaged
pushing
our
up here
forces.
now. Kind of going out on my own, which probably isn't recommended. We've got the cavalry players coming through and some Chinese glaives. I'll probably take that engagement just because I want to try and get in early, get some early kills. So we've hit our phalanx. We're going to pull through a bit. Hold the line is on at this stage, and I'm going to do a shield bash and see if we can drop the ground. It does look like I'm going to be overrun very quickly because the enemy has pulled through quite a few units and has gotten in behind me. So what I'll do is I'll pull back now and see if I can create a defensive line. Unfortunately those cavalry are roaming in behind, so that is always a risk, and charge straight to the back of here. It looks like we've got a large enemy and they've decided to raise me. So I'm going to pull back now. Looks like this is not going to go very well. And accidentally popped Fight in the Shade, which is a bit of an error on my behalf. So what I'm going to do is try and get my second unit out of the engagement without them noticing and pull him back to heal. Let the other two units die off, just keep that battle going. Don't let them just march straight through the middle and then onto B early, or just collapse back onto C too early. So just creating that line, pulling my second unit back, and hopefully he'll be able to heal without anyone interfering. I'll just
an allied capture point is under attack.
There, send my second unit just into here, so hopefully I can get a rear flank and route that unit, so I've got a direct route back to the healing zone. So it's going to go up anyway. So sending my unit
point
back
is contested.
and get him healed up so we can get all three units back in the fight as quickly as possible.
Following orders. Awaiting orders.
So we do have some archers that are hiding in the woodlands up there. What we want to do is, before we can make a press through the hot gates towards E, we really need to flush them out of there, or else they're just going to rain down on us. The enemy does have spearmen that have been roaming around the hot gates, and we don't want to be captured down there and just have them raining down. So it looks like Stu has gone AFK for a second. Just getting all three of my units back to heal. They didn't manage to actually rout and kill those units, which I believe is a mistake. They should have really tried to kill those units off to deny me the XP and to deny my first chevrons, which will, as the battle rages on, will become a huge advantage to me.
Spears! Run!
An allied capture point is under
So
attack.
just looking at the not scoreboard, but just the units, the enemy team really have not been killing off any of our units at this stage. We've been killing off several of theirs,
Our
and that
capture
would have
point is
denied them the
contested.
XP and denied them the chevron. So I'm going to send Unit 2 up into the woodlands to try and flush those ranged units out. Send one towards C, see if I can get him in there, and send the third unit
Our base
down
is
to
vulnerable.
B to start defending. Because it looks looks like they have pressed quite
Our
aggressively
unit is
up to
under attack.
B, and we don't want them taking from us too early.
Raise shields! Double
Raise
time!
shields on and start marching through the middle of the line. Get my third unit into this engagement
Phalanx! Run!
and try and help out.
Knock them down!
Nice damage
Bash
there with the
them!
shield bash. Probably didn't need to pull through here, could have just pulled back and
Spears!
got my line back together. It
Awaiting
looks like they
orders.
are willing to give up on C in favour of hiding in the woodlands and trying to surprise me, and then obviously they'll get me. I'm trying to indicate for my teammate to drop back and heal up. I'll pull my first unit into this area here. I've got the rock as a rear flank protection there whilst I wait for C to unlock. Obviously they're just roaming in there, they know what's going to happen, but any pressure in there will allow us to tie up the units in the middle of the map and not let them just, you know, pull away from C and start pressing on B.
An enemy
wrap around the
player
back
has
of
been
A.
eliminated.
So I've pushed up quite aggressively there on my second unit, and we're really trying to push them out of B.
Our unit is under attack.
Unfortunately, my first unit is covering a bit of ranged fire, so I'm going to try and pull my second unit into the middle of the map and see if we can force the ranged units into sight so we can deal with them. We have routed that
A new
unit that was
capture
pressing
point has become
B,
available.
and we have Unit 1. I'm going to pull him into C now that it has unlocked and
Our
start
capture point
contesting
is
it
contested.
just to deny us some points for a short period of time so we can try and get our team coordinated and figure out how we're going to tackle them. Unfortunately, without a voice channel running that we can organise everyone in the team, sometimes it's a mess early on.
Knock them down!
So they are still pressing B. I'm sending my second unit in towards the middle of the map to try and zone out some of the ranged units, but they have noticed that and they've just run away.
Orders!
We're trying to deal with the units on B, and the repeating crossbows absolutely decimate me.
Our unit is routed.
First unit's routed, so there's absolutely no pressure on C. So that press
Our
towards C
commander has been killed.
really generated no results. Going to turn my second unit around into
Our
phalanx
capture point is
and then just pull
contested.
through these horse units. I'm going to get hit a lot by those repeating crossbows, so there's really nothing I can do at this point apart from try and kill some horses.
Spears! Battle ready! Attack!
At this point, our team does realise that we don't have any cavalry, which is a major disadvantage when reversing these repeating crossbows at any tier level.
An enemy
Very
player
strong.
has been eliminated.
Unfortunately, I tried to march up to the healing point in phalanx, which is pretty stupid. Unit number 2 will probably die very soon, and hopefully Unit 3 will be able to heal all 3 of them without having any pressure on them at the B spawn. So at this point, what we're going to do is change our tactic a bit. They do have quite a lot of their units in towards the middle of the map, so and towards the D area. What we're going to do is we're going to heal up, get together a couple of us and press up towards the hot gates, knowing that those repeating crossbows were in the very middle of the map and the archers were no longer really holding no sight at all inside the woodlands. What
Our
we're going
unit
to do
has
is
recovered.
push through the hot gates and see if we can rush to E without the ranged units raining down on us. So I'm just telling the boys I'm going to press up that way.
Quickly!
And let's see if this is successful. We've got our ranged units and a couple of Roman infantry pressing up through the middle, and we had the Miltiades spears also going through there, which is awesome because he's going to be able to really get up into the back of those ranged units and zone them out. So let's go through the hot gates and see what we find, and hopefully we can work our way through there relatively quickly. So we do have some Roman infantry here, Germanicus. So what we're going to do is just try and wrap around the back and just get rid of them quickly. We want to get through this engagement. It is only in tier 6, so we should be able to account for them quite easily. I'll do phalanx on unit 1 and 2, so that third, as that second unit doesn't actually get down and join his compatriot. And Stu kindly burns me there, but we're making very quick work of that unit.
Knock them
Obviously
down!
we've got 4 units on 1 there, so we're easily able to get the flanks, and he's done with it, so we're going to send units straight up
Without question.
and try and get rid of this unit, and then we're going hard
Stand
towards
strong!
E.
Spears! ground! To the ground! Quickly!
What I'm doing here is sending one of my units ahead with Stu, just in case they rush forward and I can pop the phalanx. Unfortunately, our ranged unit was completely undefended at this point, so we probably should have recognised that he had nothing back there to help him, so I'm just going to pull all my guys back really quickly while Stu presses up, and he's going to start pressure up on E. I'm just going to try and drop back and help this unit out. Really need to protect our range units.
An allied capture point is under attack.
Knock them down!
Alright, so that Roman infantry player is dealt with. Nikos can drop back and heal. Just having a quick glance in the middle of the map to see what's happening. And then I'm going to push everything up to join Stu. It looks like that same infantry player had one unit back on the spawn to heal up. And he's just cycled through the 15-second regeneration and then pressed down into E to start defending. Stu's already up there. He's got 3 against 2 right now, so he should be able to really put some pressure on. He is higher tier, and I'm coming in from behind there, and I'll be able to buff him with hold the line and also the flanks. Just indicating he's blobbing a tiny bit, but what I'm hoping he'll do is to pull the middle unit out, wrap around the back at the rear flank, and we can really quickly take E. He's seen my little drawing, and he's doing it with 2 of the units, so he's going to be able to get probably a rear and a side flank here. And he was able to eliminate the other unit. So once this unit's done, we're going to quickly capture E, and you know, that could definitely turn the tide of the battle, because right now they've got 3 points and they were swimming in points. So we'll capture E here, sending 2 of my units out just in case that cavalry and the enemy team rushes in. I can't remember what commander it was, but if it's a Scipio, of course there's a bit of problems when it pops Oath. So E has been flipped, the enemy is pressing A, but we are contesting it, so I'm just going to keep an eye on the mini-map just to see how it's going.
The enemy base
E,
is vulnerable.
so that is a massive boost to our team, because we were really struggling for points there for a while. I don't want Stu to press too far ahead, because if we can move as a unit, then it will really help us to you know, prevent the enemy team from overwhelming us really easily. They will want to take E back, so
our capture point is contested.
just glancing across the whole field, looks like we're doing a bit of a push there towards C. They have got a lot of units in A, but our ranged units are making very,
An enemy
very
player
good
has been
progress
eliminated.
into those units, and we have started to capture C. So Miltiades Spear player has created a wall there with 1 unit and is capturing with the 2nd. Those glaives will probably be able to get in there, and they have to contest it. So what we want to do now is just consolidate the E position and then wrap around to see if we can. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so they have spawned some T7 spears, sorry, it's T7 swordsmen. So what I'm going to do is send 2 units to engage them, and send the 3rd one around the back, and they're trying to do something very similar. So frontal attack won't really yield many results for them. So let's see what they try and do to counter that. And what I want to try and do is just create 2 walls here and just bring them in together and trap all those units within that wall.
An allied capture point
And
is
at the
under
same
attack.
time, don't let them route that 3rd unit and capture E. So Stu is coming around the back. He's going to be able to make some really good flanks on this unit that's inside the capture point, and hopefully I can get a couple of shield bashes off and drop this unit's strength very quickly. They are committing quite a few units in here now. So it's 6v6.
Stand strong!
But there is 1 lower tier unit in there, so looks like we're about to route the 1st unit here, hopefully.
Knock them down!
Heavy infantry charge into the back of the Chinese swordsman is not too effective.
To the ground!
Still annoying to have that flank on.
To the ground!
I did pull through with 2 of my units there. Probably didn't need to. Could have just held a phalanx line and just prevented the units from getting within all mine. Quick stuff like that, then it's very hard to actually effectively shield bash when the units are behind me. They are allocating a lot more units in here now, so it looks like the equation has swung, and there is now another 3 units of swordsmen. They are only tier 6, so we should still be able to handle these. We've got 2 tier 7s against 1 tier 7 and 2 tier 6s. Of course, Leonidas. But unfortunately, the enemy is bringing in some
enemy
tier
player
6
has been
swordsmen,
eliminated.
so, and they do have a couple of chevrons on the ground. I have noticed that 2 of my units have their 2nd chevron, and 1 has 1. Stu has 2 chevrons on all 3 units, which will give him a bit of an advantage going forward, but unfortunately he doesn't have the same defensive capabilities as Leonidas, and routing his capture points. So at this stage it isn't looking too good for us on E, but what I want to do is spread my units out as much as possible to eliminate their ability just to pop flanks quickly,
Our
rout
capture
and get rid
point
of my
is
units.
contested.
I am cycling through hold the line as well as possible, but unfortunately it looks like my first unit is going to just run out of models, and I'm going to get the rear flank on in second, which will probably speed in. That unit did pop hold the line, so they're not going to easily rout me, and what I'm going to do is just shuffle these units around. Stu, it would have been probably better if he actually routed earlier and died off earlier, that way he could respawn and come and join me in this fight, but looking at the number of enemy units here, it's a bit of a lost cause, so all I'm doing now is just holding this point as long as possible, denying them from taking it,
Our commander has been killed.
making a nuisance of myself up
An
here.
allied
So
player
it looks like they're struggling to actually deal with the Leonidas hold the line up here. And you can see just how many units are up there. They've allocated so many. So what this is going to do is, this is going to open up the rest of the map. This could actually be the turning point in the battle.
Our unit is losing.
And it causes them over allocating all these units into one capture point, one giant blob there, means that C will be pretty much undefended.
An allied capture
And
point
we
is
can
under
press from
attack.
A up to D. I'm going to
An allied
respawn at B
capture point has
and
been
try
lost.
exactly the same thing, because if they come through the
Our
hot
base is
gates,
vulnerable.
Leonidas spears will just be able to hold the line, smash them, and walk through. So let's wait till I respawn, and
We are halfway towards victory.
just letting the guys know how badly I got beaten down there. And looks like the Milty Spears is holding the hot gates too, so they're not going to just march straight through to B before I respawn, which is awesome. And it looks like we do have some thumps moving through the woods towards C to try and get
An
that
enemy
capture
capture point is under attack.
7 seconds left, and we're back in the game.
Our unit has recovered.
This is a notification just about those horses, just in case they try and do a sneaky.
Our
and
capture
get
point
behind,
is contested.
Nikos, the ranged player. So I've respawned now. I haven't actually selected where I'm going to go just yet, but I'm going to push back down towards B. I don't want that to be undefended too long, and then I'll push straight through those hot gates and
An
see
allied
if I can
capture
get
point
B
is
back
under
again.
attack.
They have pressed up with some cav into A, but we have units back there that can actually account for them quite easily, so let's see what happens here. Making a really good push for C now. We've got a lot of units in there, and because they over-allocated so many towards E, they've got to march all the way from
A new
E to
capture
C,
point has
and that's
become
going to be
available.
a very long way for some of those Roman infantry units to make it. Those glaives are holding quite well there, but looking forward here, our Milty Spears has done a very good job of holding the hot gates until I am able to come in there. I've kept one unit back in B, just in case they try and backcat me, and whatever I do inside the hot gates counts for nothing. Pop the phalanx, kill this
Our
unit off,
capture point is contested.
and it looks like
Our unit
these
is
guys
under
are
attack.
willing to take me on a frontal attack inside the hot gates.
An enemy
And,
capture
you know,
point is under
I'm just
attack.
going to macro here, pulling back and forward. I don't need to be engaged the
enemy
whole
has
time.
lost
You
the
can
capture
throw
point.
a pillar at me, it's not going to do too much. And I'm just going to march back and forth. Heavy thrust, shield bash, heavy thrust, shield bash, and I'm pretty confident in be able to take these guys
To
on.
the ground!
They're doing pretty much no damage to me right now.
Run!
Heavy
Knock
infantry
them
charge into
down!
the back of your own units and pop Vengeance. Let's see if this unit has more success than the other one.
Our
We
capture
are
point
capturing
is
C
contested.
now, so we are 300 points negative
The
right now.
enemy base is vulnerable.
But we are taking C, and that
Knock them
taking
down!
C. So that is a definite turning point in the battle now, because we are controlling the middle of the map. They can't rush through the hot gates, and they've been struggling to get up towards A. So I'm just holding it here, really just conserving my units as much as possible, waiting for my shield bash to come back, pulling through and smash.
Knock them down!
Beautiful. Give him a heavy thrust.
Knock them down!
And I really want to finish this engagement as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do is pull through my other unit
Form phalanx!
and see if we can just, you know, speed things up a bit here, because I don't want to be in here too long, because I can see that a unit is sneaking into
Knock
B
them
behind me,
down!
and I'll need to focus down there any second now. So we do have 2
Our
swordsman
capture
units
point
that
is
have come in there,
contested.
so it's 7. So it's going to be a bit tricky to deal with, but we're going to try and combat the
Our
frontally.
unit is under attack.
One of my units here did suffer quite a bit of damage because we pulled through, and we no longer have that very strong defensive advantage. Just need to get my line set up here, because it looks like the AI elephant is
Following orders.
stomping me.
To the ground!
Nice of him. Finishing off these Roman infantry units, and the
Knock
AI
them
has
Capture
taken
point is
over
contested.
the Carthaginian spear units and the elephants, so he actually is probably going to make it harder for me to achieve what I want to do here, because he's just going to push through my phalanxes. He's going to just think purely based on its algorithms, and that's really not going to help. I'm going to try and break this phalanx using shield bash.
To the ground!
Obviously here the AI has charged through the back of me, but I'll probably be able to break through that and get up into the capture point very quickly.
Knock
Rear
them
flank
down!
those swordsmen back there, and I'm going to try and pull through here and see if I can just absolutely destroy those tier 6 spears and get up into E. If I can get up into E, what we're going to be doing there is we're going to be denying them E points. They're denying us the C points right now. So things are pretty even in terms of
To the ground!
the points coming in. I think we're a tiny bit behind, and once we can get rid of the swordsman on B, we'll be ahead in the points coming in, and it could
Bash
definitely
them!
swing how the battle
An
goes.
allied
So
player has
they
been
have
eliminated.
respawned another 2 Roman infantry units into the hot gates. He's coming back for more pain, so I'm just going to march my units through again. I've been conserving hold the line pretty well on these. I don't need to go too hard. Still got plenty of health on them.
An enemy
They're under
capture point is
50%,
under
but
attack.
if I go in and be careful here, we should easily get through these units just like before.
Stand strong!
Seems like he's focusing on the Carthaginian
To the
units. He
ground!
probably should have just pulled both units back, waited for me to
Knock
get out
them
and try
down!
to get in behind.
Ready to serve.
Just pulling in and out
The
here,
enemy has lost
trying
a
to conserve
capture
myself,
point.
give myself a bit of time for my 3rd unit to get in. Once the 3rd unit is up in the battle, then we can really just start smashing through. We have taken D, so we've been able to push through the woodlands up there and effectively take
We
D,
have
which
secured a
is
capture
a
point.
huge moment in the battle. We get 0.5 points a second now. We were 300 points behind. We've already caught up 100 of them, and we're making very
Knock
good
them
progress here
down!
in the score. So they're going to be struggling at this point, because the only respawn points they have is the E and base. So if we were quite smart, we could actually send someone up to the base spawn, deny them that location, force everything to come from E, and we could really just funnel everyone into that spawn.
To the ground!
Making very quick work here of the swordsman, and I'm just going to run away from the other unit and let the AI take him. I want to get up into E, and what I want to do is just set a defensive perimeter here. So I'm going to implement something that looks a bit funny, but oddly enough, it works quite well.
Our
pulling all
capture
3
point
units
is contested.
into a triangle shape. Heavy infantry charge, or charging into a phalanx probably isn't recommended. It's a good way to lose about a quarter of your strength. So pulling my guys into the funny shaped triangle. With hold the line, if they manage to get a side flank on me, then it's not going to do anything. I'm only concerned here about rear flanks, and I pulled all the way out, and look, they've got 0 points coming in now, so I'm denying E, and we've got 4.5 points a second, and I'd say we're going to run away. We've overtaken them in points. I can cycle through, hold the line on my units pretty confidently, not going to rout. The only thing that probably will happen is they will eventually die, but you know, I can sit here for nearly the rest of the battle and kind of just chuckle at what's happening now, because it's been a very fun battle. The enemy were very good. I think if we had a cavalry player, we might have been able to make it a bit easier on ourselves, but certainly we made some good decisions after the initial deficit that we had. Some of our units, maybe if they had been completely killed off instead of just routed, and we were able to come back and heal, I think that really was a mistake on their side. We're up to 3,200 points now, they're at 2,800.
An enemy player has been eliminated.
I'm sending messages to students to have a look at the funny triangle I've created up in E, and from here I'm probably just going to die off, but
The
the
enemy
battle's
base is
won,
under attack.
definitely. Very much an enjoyable battle, this one. It helps being higher tier than the enemy in a lot of my engagements.
Our commander has been killed.
But, you know, only need 100 more points, so we were looking at about 15-20 seconds. Oh, no point even clicking respawn. Letting everyone know that I had a cracking game. Lots of fun there. The enemy gives us the GGs, they see the writings on the wall, and we'll wrap this one up and have a
Victory!
score.
Their base
So,
is ours.
that was a very good battle, coupled with some extremely good players on both sides, and yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the battle, my first commentary of it. Hopefully it gives you a bit of an insight into what I was thinking throughout the battle, and here's the leaderboard. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Give us a like, give us a comment, and have a good one. Cheers, mate.